Hi, my name is Beverly from the Art Barn. We are going to have a video on drawing. I have basically 5 lessons for this, and today I'm going to give you an introduction, let you experiment with some of the materials that we're going to be using. But first, before we begin, I want to make sure that you are relaxed and you are ready to draw. So, take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. If your shoulders are hiked up, make sure you relax your shoulders. Moms, if any of the children's feet cannot reach the floor, you may want to put a little stool underneath them or have them sit on a smaller table where their feet can reach the floor. Their hands and their shoulders can be in front of them on the table, and they have ample room to move about. Now take a deep breath in and take a deep breath out. If you have glasses, you might want to take them off. To relax your eyes, use the palms of your hands. Hold them there just a few seconds and then take them off. When you open your eyes, things probably will be blurry at first, but then they will fine-tune. And if you have glasses, of course, that will help make sure everything is in focus. That's often how we need to look at something we're drawing. If you have something that you're looking at to draw, like a picture of an animal, I want to give you that example today. See if it's back here. No, it isn't. This is a picture of a deer. It looks like a buck to me. He's got some big antlers there. You need to pick out a picture of an animal that you would like to draw before we get started. Now, it needs to be black and white, it needs to be big, and you'll need a page protector to put it in. Also, you will need markers. Markers, you want a fine tip on one side, like this, and a large tip on the other side. Markers don't have to be expensive to be useful. If they are more expensive, they'll probably last longer. But for what we're doing with these markers, it's not necessary that they be expensive markers. You can use them just for exercises. That's what we're going to do. Also, I'd like you to be able to experiment with the supplies that you have. Do you have computer paper? Because it's very important that you feel free to use as much paper as you need to when you're practicing to draw. If your table is rough, put some poster board down, make a nice smooth surface behind it. You'll want to make sure that wherever you draw, it's not rough, but it's nice and smooth. You'll also want a grid. This is a grid that I have made. I'm sure moms, you could come up with something like this. If not, I will post a link that would allow you to copy a grid like this for the purposes that we have today. I'd like you to recognize the 5 elements of contour shape, because pictures like deer are made out of shapes, different shapes put together. If you think of the horns, you think of kind of a cylinder with an angle point on top. If you think of his eyes, you might think of a circle. If you think, let's look at the picture together. See, we look and we see a circle for eyes. We see curved lines here. We see angled lines in different spots. Here's an angled line where the head meets the horns. Here's the ear, nose. Do you see the nice smooth straight line here? But we see a curved line here for his chest. We also see a curved line below the antlers. We see some curved lines here, but we also see points at the top of the antlers. So whenever you have a reference, and that's what we call a picture that we're looking at, whenever you have a reference, you're going to be looking for those shapes. But if you don't necessarily recognize the shapes, I want to bring that a step. I want to break it down one more step. And that is seeing the elements of the shape. Now these are standard shapes you would probably recognize. Can you say them with me? Here's a circle, triangle, rectangle, square, oval, cylinder, here's a dot, here's a pyramid. Now, when you break those shapes down into elements, we have 5 basic families. These are the families that we're going to work on today. First, we have the circle family. It could be small or large, oblong. It could be an oval. It could be squirmy looking. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle to be in the circle family. And if you'll notice, a circle is just an enclosed line. It never ends. It just goes on and on and on. It doesn't stop. Now a dot family, the second family we're talking about, is a circle that is filled in. You would use the thin part of your marker to make the dot, and then you would use the fat part of your marker to fill in the dot. Now I'm giving you these instructions because we're going to do some of these elements of shape later. The third family that we're going to look at is the straight line family. It could be any direction. If you're going back and forth, like this is what we call horizontal. If you're going up and down, that is what we call vertical. That's a vertical line. Then we have a diagonal line, another diagonal line that's at a little different position. Any line, upside down, on top of another, it doesn't matter. If it's straight, that would be in the straight line family. Now, number 4 family would be the angle line family. We have L shape, something like a 7 at a different angle, different positions that angle could be, any type of positions, and that would be called the angle family. The 5th family is the curved family, and this is what you're going to see a lot of when you're looking at a picture of a favorite puppy or a favorite cat or a deer, maybe an elk, something that you want to draw. A horse. I know lots of little girls that like horses. Then we have a curved line here, curved line, all different shapes, all different positions, but these are the 5 families that these basic shapes are made of. Now, we're going to do a little bit of recognizing those. Moms, here's where you can come in. I want you to look around the room, wherever you are, maybe pause the video, and have each one of the kids identify shapes all around them. I'll give you an example. I'm standing right here making a video, and off to my left I see a piece of wood. And it's in the shape, not quite a square, but I would say it's a rectangle. I see a straight line here. I see an angled line here. I don't see any curved lines here, but right within reach, I have a canister of paint. And I see a circle right here. Now the opposite end is filled in with red. So here I see a dot because it's not just the shape of a circle, but it's all filled in with color. So I want you to look around you, wherever you are sitting, and I want you to be able to identify one thing out of each family before you go on. Now, the second thing I'd like you to do is practice. Just rediscover your materials. Have you done that yet? Take out your markers, take out your computer paper, and just start going at it. Try to make some elements of shape yourself. Draw something pretty. Enjoy just using those materials and rediscovering how they work, how they feel, how they react to how hard to push, how light to push, and how to use them again. I want you to take one sheet of computer paper and just take your time to do that. Again, this is a good time to stop the video, pause it before you go on. Okay, now that you have tried out your supplies and you have recognized all the different elements of shape, we're going to go on to practicing some games. Oh, we did those already, didn't we? Oh, I know what. You just identified them not long ago. Now I want you to find or play the game of which one is it. It's kind of like I Spy, but suppose I'm looking at this canister of paint. I don't tell anybody else what I'm looking at, but I'm going to describe it and then they have to guess what I'm looking at. Well, first I would say it is round, it's a circle on one end, it's a dot on the other end, and the third clue might be what gives it away. It's because it's yellow. It wouldn't be the red paint or the green paint, it would be the yellow paint. So play that game with each other and then pause the video. Okay, now we're going to take our empty boxes, that are your grid, and I want you to follow along with me. I want you to fill in each box that I say with what shape with what element of shape I want you to put in that box. So, this is our first exercise paper. This is the grid. Put that in front of you. Now I want you to take your thin marker and I'm going to say what to put in the first box. I guess this one's upside down. Let's turn it over. I want you to put it in before I do. Make sure that you got it right. I would like you to put a small circle in the first box. Is that what you put? Second box, I would like you to draw a straight line from one corner of the box to the other. Yours doesn't have to look like mine because it could be from this corner to this corner, but mine is from this corner to this corner. Now in the third box, I would like you to put a dot, but not in the middle. I want you to put it high up in the box. Number 4. In your fourth box, I would like you to put a curved line from one side of the box to the other. This is mine. Yours might not look exactly the same, but as long as it's curved and it's touching one side of the box to the other side of the box, that will work. In the next box over, which is the fifth box, I would like you to put an angled line from one side to one corner. Think about that first. One side to one corner. You go ahead and then I'll do it. There's my angled line. Yours might look different. It needs to touch one side and it needs to touch one corner and it needs to meet together at an angle. The next box, we are going to do, let's put a straight line and a curved line together. Something like that. Just make sure one part of it is straight and one part of it is curved. It does not have to touch. I did not say that. One of the reasons for this exercise is to help you to follow instructions. Now let's try an oval or part of the circle family and let's fill up the whole box. Every edge you should touch. Good. And mine turned out not so circly, but it's still curved, so it's still included in the circle family. Now that's our exercise. I hope you were able to follow those instructions, and moms, you determine whether the child that you are teaching with this video is ready to go on to